What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Fantasy Time Game Day Playbook Show. Here it is NFL Week 4. John Impemba with Andrew Cooper taking you through the next hour, getting you updated with all the latest news, inactives, roster discussion, start, sits, and we are tracking this 9:30 a.m. Sunday morning football game between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Atlanta Falcons. Halftime right now, Jacksonville up 17-0 here. Coop, man, how are we doing today, sir?
Fantastic. A little breakfast ball, dude. Can't beat it, right? Doesn't get any better.
Can't do anything better for it.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Hopefully there's overtime and it brings us right up to 1 o'clock. I don't really see the Falcons making that happen, but I'm rooting for them. More football, the better, right? Bring us right up to 1. That'd be ideal, but we'll take what we can get. We'll take what we can get. And what a crazy morning so far as news, notes. It's like fake accounts saying that Derek Carr is not going to play. They have to be corrected. So we're here for you guys today. Next hour, all the official news, and at 11:30, we're going to get the official inactives. So no more speculating, right? 11:30, we're going to tell you who's in, who's out, and get it done. So get your questions in the chat. We're going to hit them all, and let's win some leagues, baby.
Yeah, 100%. Some of the breaking news that we're getting right now here, Dorian Thompson-Robinson going to start for the Cleveland Browns. Deshaun Watson not able to play with that shoulder injury here. Ezekiel Elliott, Coop, is apparently going to get starter reps today over Ramondre Stevenson in this game against
the Dallas
Cowboys here.
Revenge
game narrative. Aiden O'Connell is going to start for the Las Vegas Raiders today, 4th-round pick, making his debut. We're going to have 5 rookie quarterbacks starting today, Coop. O'Connell, Stroud, Young, O'Connell, Strong, Richardson, and now I'm blanking on the last one there.
JTR.
Yeah, JTR, right. So we got 5 rookie quarterbacks starting today, so that should be pretty exciting news here. Of course, we're all watching the big game total on the board, Buffalo-Miami, for our DFS and seasonal lineups. Jalen Waddle is returning. Does Devin Achane repeat his Week 3 performance in Week 4? So a lot to get to here today. Quick update on this Jacksonville game. Again, halftime stats. Christian Kirk has 10 targets in the first half, 6 for 71. Calvin Ridley, 1 catch, 1 target, but it was a 30-yard touchdown. So fantasy managers at least getting the payoff there. Bijan Robinson just 7 for 18. Desmond Ridder looking terrible. 2 picks already. Should have had at least 3. Rejon's their leading receiver as well, 4 for 26. We'll see if a quarterback change happens at halftime or not for Atlanta. Coop, any final takeaways, any thoughts here before we jump into questions today?
I mean, dude, just Desmond Ridder is rough right now. I'm having a hard time believing that Taylor Heineke can't do better than this right now, man. I mean, like Bijan, you talk about him being the leading receiver, he's having to make like one-handed catches on passes out of the backfield just to make it work. It's just it's ugly right now. So I would consider Heineke time. Crack a Heineke.
100%. We're just getting an update right now. Derek Carr was the other quarterback we were watching, going to be active today, which is great for me. One of my favorite props on the board, and I'll have to see if it's moved yet or not, Alvin Kamara, 2.5 receptions. With Derek Carr being active over Jameis Winston here, I think the check down for Alvin Kamara in this spot against Tampa Bay is going to be pretty healthy. So if that 2.5 receptions prop is still out there for Kamara today, I think I'll go ahead and take that one. For sure.
For sure, dude. Yeah, I would back and forth on that because I love them in DFS just with the idea of a banged up quarterback going out that can't throw it downfield. That sounds great for Alvin Kamara. So if Carr's going to play, we got to get him in there.
Got to get him in there. All right, Coop, let's get into it here. As more news and inactives come out, of course, we'll have that for you. First question on the board today from our guy Lewis. Need 1 running back, 1 flex. Sanders, Kyren Williams, Moss, Breece Hall, Rashad White, Lockett, or Mims?
Yeah, I think for me, just since you have a good group of running backs, so with Miles Sanders kind of dealing with a groin kind of banged up, you have the luxury of putting him on the bench and starting Kyren Williams and Zach Moss, who, for better or worse, are getting every single touch. Next week, you have to come back to Miles Sanders, of course, because Moss is probably going to end up on the back burner if Jonathan Taylor comes back. But for now, Kyren Williams and Zach Moss are the guys. I'm also going to start Tyler Lockett against the Giants. I think that you can't start Marvin Mims right now with his snap share, and Rashad White's not really inspiring much, so it's got to be Lockett.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I think that's where I'm going as well. The snap share for White's great, but just not a great matchup.
I know, man. Yeah, the match. He's going to have good games. Rashad White will have good games, but it's got to be in games where they're favored heavily.
Yep. Andy Weddle here. 3 wide receivers in a flex for a 10-man. Lamb and Adams are in. He needs to know Pittman, Dell, Evans, Atwell, or Palmer today.
So he needs 2 of those.
2 of the
Wow. Okay, so I'm definitely going to start Pittman. He's playing every snap. He's the focal point of the offense.
Target monster.
The question is whether you sit Evans against Marshawn Lattimore to start Tank Dell or Tutu Atwell. I wouldn't go there just yet on Palmer because we don't know for sure his role. We think it's going to be good, but you have safer options. What do you think, John? Dell or Atwell, or just start Mike Evans because Mike Evans is great?
So here's the thing. In the past with Mike Evans, and Mike Evans has obviously been great. We know that this year he's been huge, but the quarterback play for Tampa Bay has been at least a little bit better with Jameis Winston and Tom Brady. I don't trust Baker Mayfield against Marshawn Lattimore in this matchup for Evans at all. I think I might go either Atwell or Palmer here. I like Tank Dell. I don't know if this is a spot against Pittsburgh here. It would be between Atwell or Palmer for me today, Coop.
Ooh, okay, then I'm going Atwell.
Okay. Lewis here, second question, 1 point PPR. Higgins or Ayuk today?
T. Higgins. I think Tennessee, you can throw on them. You definitely can't run on them, so you have to throw on them. So give me Higgins.
I'm with you there. Next point here, Robert, 12-man half PPR, wide receiver in a flex. Atwell, Myers, Palmer, or Ford? I'm definitely out on Ford today, but thoughts on the other guys?
Yeah, so Myers is the wild card. I think that if Aiden O'Connell wasn't the quarterback, Myers would be easy. But I think because he is, it's probably Atwell and Palmer, right?
I still think Jacoby Myers is fine. The Josh McDaniels offense feeds the slot wide receiver. You have a rookie quarterback. You would have to assume the offense will be a little bit more simplified, which should play for Myers here. So I don't mind Jacoby Myers still getting a bunch of targets, but if you want to go probably the safer routes, it's Palmer and Atwell. So
all right, yeah, I feel the same way. Same way where it's like if you start Myers, you know what you're getting. Right?
Yeah.
You know it's a wild card.
That's fair. Skinny McKinney in here looking like Carr's playing. Do you need to temper our Taysom Hill expectations for today? You shouldn't have had Taysom Hill expectations anyway.
No Taysom Hill questions, please. Taysom last week, Jamal Williams was injured. Alvin Kamara was suspended. The quarterback got hurt, and he still did nothing. No more Taysom Hill questions. Thank you.
I agree. Ann says, good morning. Good morning to you. And then Pete's got Swift, Ford, Javonte, or A-Chain. Need to start 2.
Swift and Javonte.
Yeah, that's where I'm going today as well. McAdoo here. Start 1, flex, half PPR. Flowers, Hopkins, Hawkinson.
Start 1. Oh, my goodness. I think you got to go Flowers. There's no Odell Beckham, no Rashad Bateman. It's going to be Flowers and Nelson Aguilar and probably Devin Duvernay, right, John? And Flowers with this, he was even with the other guys playing, he was getting the monster target share. So I think you got to go Flowers.
Yeah, I'm going Flowers here. Tougher spot, but I mean, not going to trust Tennessee versus Cincinnati. And Bender's been all about the Panthers defense. He's even playing him in DFS today. I think it's questionable, but he is just buying into the Carolina Panthers.
In GPP, though, the narrative, you can create a narrative. I mean, Kirk Cousins, we've seen him go out and just absolutely have meltdown games. That's all. That's what you're betting on, right? Is that the Panthers defense is okay versus the pass, not good versus the run, and you're just hoping that Alexander Madison fumbles and Kirk Cousins has a complete meltdown, which is entirely possible.
Definitely possible. I would agree with you. I would say that I told this to Bender. This is probably the best offense that Cousins have had as a whole with Addison, Jefferson, and Hawkinson together. So willing to put some pass struggles behind him, but he likes them. I get it. The linebackers are good in coverage, so probably Hawkinson on a tough day. Ann's first question of the day: Bijan, Brian Robinson, Roshan, or Palmer here need one.
And Dunn in the house. Rowdy, what up? This is tough because normally you'd say Brian Robinson, but he gets the Eagles. Then you got a part-time back in Roshan and a curveball in Palmer. I think I might just go Palmer though, John.
Yeah, that's Palmer's fine by me. Coop updated in this game. Atlanta Falcons have a touchdown. Desmond Ridder to Drake London, 15 yards. So
there you go, dude. Let's go.
Drove him down the field on the opening drive. Made some improvements there. Ridder.
Let's get Pitts one. Let's get overtime. Let's get this game going right up to 1 o'clock. Let's go, baby. Come on. I'm rooting for football. And I'll tell you, you know what? Just one more note on Josh Palmer is that this isn't a speculative play, really, because we saw Josh Palmer last year with no Keenan Allen and no Mike Williams. They only played 2 games together, full games, those 2 players. So we saw plenty of Josh Palmer, and you know what? He looked pretty decent. So yeah, no problem with Josh Palmer there.
Need 2 then. Palmer, A-Chain, or Madison today?
Palmer and Madison. Madison's got a great matchup. I mean, A-Chan.
They did say A-Chan has earned more snaps today. So
he certainly did. But what does that look like?
He's very fast. But
what does that look like against the Bills? The question is, how many snaps do they have to divvy up?
Right. And like you said, what's that look like against who's the pass catching back in this offense? Is it A-Chain or is it Mostert? It's probably A-Chain, right?
Probably is, yeah.
So he might get some more run there, but I'm going to go Madison here. It's a great spot. He's coming off of a 90-yard game. I know Akers is active, but I don't know. They've said that Madison is still their starting running back. So
Panthers versus the run. Bad.
Yeah. Tech Master wants to know Ford or DJ Moore today. I hate Ford.
I hate Ford today. I do, but I also dislike DJ Moore.
Yeah. This is a make it break it. No Claypool today. I mean, they go 0-5. I mean, they can't conceivably bench Fields, can they? Who's their backup? It can't be any better than Fields.
Yeah. So just start DJ Moore. It's crazy. It's crazy that Chase Claypool is inactive and I didn't have to move him in my rankings because I only rank 75 wide receivers, right? Just
Claypool is doing everything he can to talk himself out of Chicago, and I don't blame him, honestly, to be fair. So, Superflex, Baker or DTR, -3 for picks.
John, that's all you, baby. That's all you.
Listen, I'll say this: DTR is going to run the football off.
He looked good, and he looked good in the preseason.
He did.
Sure did.
Listen, the mobility for DTR is pretty good. I will say the one thing though is that Baltimore practices against that offense every day because they have Lamar Jackson and they have Tyler Huntley and that crew running basically the same offense you'll see out of DTR today. But I cannot trust Baker Mayfield. I don't think this is a good day. I have Saints defense in a lot of lineups today.
Yeah. I just go DTR. Yeah. I mean, like, honestly, if you look at like the implied point totals, like the Browns are expected to score just as many points as the Bucks. So you might as well just go for the mobile QB.
I don't know who's tuning in as Fantasy Alarm TV, but we'll see. I guess kudos to you if we have someone tuning in here for Fantasy.
Cool username.
Cool username. Yeah, I'm not sure who's rocking that one, but start 2 Atwell, Javonte Williams, Jerry Jeudy, Tank Dell.
Oh man. I think I'm going to start Javonte Williams, right? And then I might just go with both the Broncos. Unless you really like somebody else, John.
No, I don't. Well,
I think this is a get right game for the Broncos. I
definitely like both Broncos. I could be talking to Tutu Atwell though. The snap share for him is pretty good.
The thing with Judy is that the Browns are missing. The Browns defense is already not good versus the pass, and they're missing Jalen Johnson. They're missing Eddie Jackson. They're missing another cornerback. Like it's a pretty ugly spot for the Browns right now.
Yep, I agree with you. Luke says, good morning. Happy NFL Sunday.
Let's go.
Joshua's got a question. Morning. Flex PPR, Connor Mixon, Nico Collins, or Adam Thielen?
Latchaw, that's my boy right there, dude. What's up, Josh? Full PPR flex. So Mixon, very difficult matchup, but PPR helps him. So, because I think that if he's going to get bailed out, it's going to be with receptions. But I'm going to go with just one player, huh? James Conner, right?
Against the 49ers.
Oh,
I think it's Adam Thielen. I know Bender does not like Bryce Young, but Adam Thielen had 7 catches with Bryce Young 2 weeks ago. So
he's been a focal point, man. Yeah, Adam Thielen, say what you will about Adam Thielen and Michael Thomas and their ceiling in any individual week, but they are getting targets. They are prominent parts of the offenses.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. I'm going to go Adam Thielen here. The chart got 11 targets last week, but that was with Dalton throwing 75 times. So
right, yeah, Miles Sanders got 9.
Yeah, exactly. And in here, Sanders, Kelly, or Higgins. It's never Kelly for me. So
yeah, I'm not going to start Josh Kelly. This is where I start injured Miles Sanders over Joshua Kelly. And T. Higgins is a good start this week. He's got the Titans,
100%. Joshua Cole's here. RB in a flex. Javonte, A-Chain, Garrett Wilson, Rashad White. Oh, how the Garrett Wilson managers are feeling today.
Reeling, dude. Great pain. I have him in the Scott Fish Bowl, and it's just in a league like that, you have to start him every week. So I just look at it and I'm like,
he was going to be a borderline top 5 wide receiver with Aaron Rodgers.
I know. My team would actually be nasty. I have him, Devontae Adams. Like my team would be my wide receivers were looking so good until that happened. And now Devontae Adams and Garrett Wilson are playing with Zach Wilson and Aiden O'Connell.
Aiden O'Connell honestly might be better than Zach Wilson. We don't know yet, but I think
I have Deshaun Watson in that league. Yeah. Like my team is in shambles. Luke Musgrave had to get hurt too, just because. I think you still start Garrett Wilson. I think you go. Actually, I don't know. Christian Gonzalez is kind of a problem.
Christian Gonzalez has the CD Lamb matchup. I'm going Javonte and A-Chain here.
Now, will they put Lamb in the slot to get him away from Gonzalez?
I don't know.
It's hard to say. But yeah, Javonte and A-Chain is where I'm going to go to.
Yeah, that's where I'm going. And what's so Kincaid or Chig today? Chig going to get an opportunity with no Burks.
If you have them both on your roster, and you don't have to drop Kincaid to pick up Chig, then I would start Chig. Even Kincaid's got a good matchup, but he's still not playing the full snap share. Chig plays every snap. He's, Treylon Burks is out, and it's the Bengals lost both their safeties in free agency this year. They lost Jesse Bates. They lost Von Bell. I think that Chig is in a really good spot today. So if you have both and you don't have to drop anybody to do it, I'd start Chig.
What do you make of the projected rostership we have over at Fantasyland for Gabe Davis today, clocking in at 1%? Does that make sense to you in a game that has a 53.5 game total?
What the hell? That's kind of wild, dude.
1%. Even and you know what? And I was, just in case maybe we were off, I went and checked a couple other competitor sites. Same thing. No, everybody has him at 1% in that range here today. Maybe it's got to be a price point thing. But nobody's playing Gabe Davis today. So if you're in DFS and you want exposure to that game, I mean, Gabe Davis has touchdowns in back-to-back weeks. Had a good week last week. I don't know. Just throwing him out there. Could be a spot. Kate here wants to know Hill or Latavius Murray. It's kind of gross.
Pretty gross indeed. Full PPR, I think you start Justice Hill. Right, Latavius Murray is
you're just banking on the rushing touchdown,
right? And it's like with Murray, it'd be one thing if it was Latavius Murray on like the Lions, where Jared Goff has no interest in running ever, but it's with Josh Allen, so it's not even a coin. And Damian Harris has 2 goal line carries, so it's not even a coin flip. It's like a Friday Night Lights 3-way coin flip.
Yeah, it's not good. It's not good. Pete here, Ayuk, Waddle, Sutton, A-Chain, top 2 wideouts are out. Flex between the last. Your question is a little confusing me here. So what do we need? A-Chain, Waddle, Sutton.
He needs 2 wideouts. He needs 2 wideouts and a flex.
Okay,
and I think you just start all 3 of the first guys because Deebo Samuel's banged up.
Yeah, Deebo's expected to play, but he's still. If that game gets into a blowout situation, they're going to take.
There's no need to force him to play.
Not the same question, but same players, it seems like. Sanders, Kyron, Moss, Cook, Tutu, Rico. Why are we playing the backup running back for the Cowboys? I'm not going to do that one. Let's go
Kyron
Cook for me, for one. And then you like Kyron?
You like James Cook over Zach Moss?
Dude, James Cook is one of my favorite plays of the day.
Interesting. Okay. Well, then, so I have Zach Moss over Kyron Williams.
Okay. I can run with that. My worry about Moss, and I said this to Bender because Bender was kind of in on Moss too. You have Richardson back. He's the mobile quarterback.
Mobile quarterback, yeah. But I mean, he's getting every touch, every snap.
Yeah,
Kyron Williams kind of is too.
Yeah, Kyron Williams definitely is.
That's why personally I start Kyron Williams and Zach Moss, and I have James Cook on the bench. But
James Cook gets all the snaps and the passing down work. It's just touchdowns. I don't know if Moss is going to score. Richardson's got 3 rushing touchdowns already. So.
Yeah, he's also coming off a concussion, so I'm not sure they're going to be doing. Maybe in theory, they said they're going to not use him any differently, and in theory, you would use him in those situations. But if you can not use him for QB sneaks and not run with him because he has a concussion, then that would be better, right? So,
well, he doesn't have a concussion. He's cleared. He's playing.
That's true, John. That's exactly why I said in theory, right? In theory, he is fully cleared from his concussion.
Yeah,
and he couldn't possibly, just like Tua last year was cleared from his concussions.
Yeah, well, we'll see if he takes another hard hit or not. Gross question, Aiden O'Connell, DTR. I'm going to go Aiden O'Connell here.
Yeah.
I still like that matchup for him. Joshua says, sup, Coop. Wendy says, hey, fellas. Josh says, thanks. Burrow or Lamar here?
Lamar.
Yeah.
Burrow I like in DFS because he's priced down so low, but there's always the worry that with the calf strain, get tackled the wrong way, something happens, you come right out of the game. It's got to be in the back of your mind there. I hate to say it, but Aaron Rodgers was dealing with calf issues, and there you go.
Right? Yeah, I guess my thing is it is such a great matchup here for for Burrow. It's like hard to not want to go there, but I get Lamar here against the mobility for him. I think plays into it here, and then we got 8-Chain or Debo. For me, when it comes to this spot here, it's all about Debo Samuel and the health. I mean, it is obviously a pretty good matchup against Arizona. But they did say that 8-Chain is expected to get an increased share. Coming off of such a huge week last week, it's how are we chasing the points? They said he's going to see the increased role. He's going to get some of the work on the passing down. So Miami in a 53.5 game total. They drafted the kid. He's a burner. It's all about what you feel you can trust. And you don't know if Debo is going to be active or not for this game by the time 8-Chain plays. So to avoid a zero, I think you kind of have to run 8-Chain out here today, Coop. Even though Debo may end up playing, it's a 14-point spread in that game or something like that for the 49ers versus the Cardinals. So it feels like a week where you sit Debo here and play 8-Chain for me this week.
Yep, I'm with you, man. There's no need to run Debo out there in a game with a 14-point spread. You said it all there because it's kind of interesting. The guy now, I want to get your thoughts, John, for like DFS where you're trying to, find that one play that no one's doing that could potentially hit. You've got a 14-point spread game. The coach in the past has said that one game they used Christian McCaffrey for every play, and he came out and said that's a mistake. We don't want to do that. You have no Elijah Mitchell, and then Debo Samuel, who while he's banged up, do you want to be giving him carries? So is this a world where maybe you can sneak Jordan Mason into a lineup, or is that getting too cute? Like, is there a possibility Jordan Mason gets, if it is a blowout the way they suggest, that Jordan Mason gets some run today?
I mean, no Mitchell. I could see it happening here for sure. The question is, I mean, that's not something you want to play, obviously, but it could impact the game. It's one of the reasons why I like the rushing props today that we have for Christian McCaffrey. Some places it was 78.5, seen it at 80.5. If that's the case, and Debo's is not 100%, and there's no Elijah Mitchell here today, and Ayuk's a little bit banged up, then they could be leaning pretty heavily here on McCaffrey. We just saw Tony Pollard last week run for 122 yards against Arizona. So I do think we might see some good CMC production here today. And I have him in DFS. He's super expensive. He's over 9K on DraftKings, but I still like getting McCaffrey in my lineups today.
Yeah, let's do. So you're still going McCaffrey, huh? I mean, he's so expensive, but I look around. That's the thing is, I was like, oh, you know what? Like, I'm thinking, okay, they might blow him out, and then maybe he doesn't play as much. But I look around at the other expensive backs, and there's not really any pay. If you want to pay up at running back, there's not good options. I mean, it's like Eckler's out, Tony Pollard's going against New England. Yeah. Josh Jacobs playing with a backup quarterback.
I like Jacobs here. The Chargers' run defense is terrible. The backup quarterback might actually mean that they run the ball more. He got the volume. A lot of people are upset, obviously, about the production. The man missed the entire offseason. I didn't expect him to go out to a fast start here, but I do think that Jacobs this week is a pretty interesting play. And the rostership, the most recent update, does have people going to Jacobs this week.
I'm starting him in the Baby Bowl. I'm starting him this week. I'm starting him. I'm starting Zach Moss because I might not be able to use Zach Moss again. That for those that don't know, that's a one and done league. We use a player once, you can't use him again. So I am using Jacobs there. It's just like it's in DFS. You want things to be perfect, right?
Sure.
Joe Mixon's got a bad matchup. Derrick Henry has been, kind of scary. So yeah, there's not a lot of good pay up options.
I agree. And Don here needs 2 in Scott Fishbowl. Zeke, McKinnon, Chig, and McPherson. I gotta go Zeke with the reports now. Got to play Zeke at least for one.
They're legitimate trusted accounts are coming out, and they're saying that not only is Zeke going to get increased workload, but the term used by Ian Rappaport was starter reps. So we joke about, revenge games, all this stuff. Calvin Ridley already has his revenge game touchdown, and now they're saying that Bill Belichick's willing to let Zeke Elliott start against his old team. So I don't know. Maybe there is some sports psychology to it where he says, you know what? Like if this is going to get this guy motivated to go out and ball and he thinks that that's a real thing, it's a meaningful thing for this team. Sure. I just never thought Belichick didn't seem like that kind of guy to me, John. What do you think? I mean, he just didn't. He seems like a guy that would let you kick an extra point. You know, a Julian Edelman or a Doug Flutie. He'll let you kick an extra point. Yeah, exactly. He'll let you do that if you're up by 21.
Yeah,
right.
So
So
he does have an appreciation for like the great players of the game, and Elliott is a guy that I feel like Belichick would sort of have that sort of affinity for.
Right.
And it also helps the fact that Elliott's coming off of the best game of his season, right? It was 80 yards, 5 yards per carry last week against the Jets here. Ramondre hasn't gotten off to the greatest start to his season. And, we live in the Boston area, listening to some of the sports talk radio around here. Some of the reasoning they felt like for that was that Ramondre isn't giving enough time to sort of like warm the engine, right? He's not a guy that gets out of the gate and can just be ready to go from the start. He needs a couple of drives, some series, some touches to get going. And they've been doing too much of this every other with him and Stevenson with Zeke, and he's just not ready to get going early on. And Zeke's kind of being that hot hand. So I'm going Zeke, and I think I'm still going the kicker McPherson here. But what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm going with Zeke. And I mean, like people with Zeke, it's crazy how we do this in the NFL. Like once a guy starts to slow down a little bit, we just act like they were never good. Like it happened with Melvin Gordon too. People forget how good that player was. Like Zeke has 10,000 yards from scrimmage in his career.
Zeke has been also, and then you and I have been harping a lot on this. The man has dealt with 2 injuries back-to-back seasons, both times to the knee. Hurt his knee against New England 2 years ago. He was like RB3 before landing on the pylon and like spraining his MCL. And then last year he missed 2 games because I think it was Detroit. He had that hyperextended knee.
Exactly. Yeah. And then he still scored 10 touchdowns. He still scored a touchdown every single game.
Who's to say if Ezekiel Elliott doesn't stay healthy, that he doesn't look like the guy that maybe he did 3 years ago, right? Like, and again, we're not making bold claims here. I'm just saying, like, the man has been hurt last 2 seasons. So
I've been thinking a lot about it, dude. And you have to wonder, like, when he signed that contract, looking at the schedule, maybe the day he put pen to paper, he was like, hey, you know what? Like, I just want to let you know we're circling this game right here.
Agree.
So
I agree.
Let's get back to some questions.
Greg wants to know Cousins or Fields. He says his head says Cousins, his heart says Fields.
Got to go with your head, buddy.
Yeah,
on these ones.
Again, I am not as bullish on the defensive matchup here for Carolina as Mr. Bender is. I think you look at the opponents. You got to cover Justin Jefferson. Right? Like, right. I don't know. It doesn't seem like a spot.
Your head says Cousins, your heart says Fields. What does your gut say, Gregory?
It's true. What does your gut say? Dan's here. Neither of us are playing Dan because I'm playing you, Coop, this week.
I know.
So
thank you for answering my question on Rachaad White or DeAndre Hopkins. Though I think I might pivot back to DeAndre Hopkins with Burks out.
Wait for Debo. Play Tutu. I'm playing Tutu, Dan.
Yeah, do it.
Joshua
Kelly, gross.
Sean, 3 wide receivers in a flex. Olave, Higgins, Puka, Pittman, Flowers, Dell, or Alvin Kamara. I do like Alvin Kamara.
Joshua Kelly, just because he mentioned I have Joshua Kelly late. Joshua Kelly to me is starting to look like a waiver grenade, where like you just drop him right now to waivers and hope that somebody picks him up and drops a useful player. Because I think he's doing more harm than good on a lot of rosters, and you could just drop him into the waiver pool and see if you can get somebody to waste some fab on him.
Breaking news in this Jacksonville game: Kyle Pitts just caught a pass.
No way. I don't believe it.
He did.
No.
He did.
That can't be right.
First down and everything.
That can't be true.
Listen, I would agree with you. Plus, we might get Eckler back next week anyways. All right, 3 wide receivers in a flex here. You drafted Alvin Kamara for today, so why would you bench him? Play Alvin Kamara against Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay, I think, actually said that they're 23rd in DVOA or 26th in DVOA against the run.
We got one good player against the run, Vita Vea.
And then the Veda, right? Vea, whatever in the middle.
Vita Vea.
Listen, and if Carr's a quarterback, which has been confirmed, I think the check down's there all day. So that's your flex. We need 3 wide receivers from Olave, Higgins, Puka, Pittman, Flowers, and Dell. I'm locking in Puka. So
amazing.
I need 2 of that group.
Amazing matchups. Is this full PPR? I mean, you have to start Olave, right?
So you go Olave, Puka, Pittman, and Kamara today?
I think so, yeah. Even though Flowers is such a good start too, but I mean, you make a trade. That's my advice, Sean. See if you can do a 2-for-1 trade.
My one worry with Chris Olave is the AC joint issue. Is he going to be able to throw deep with that? That's my issue with Olave. It's not an issue with Olave, but it's my concern with Olave, but Higgins isn't perfect either because you don't know the calf with Burrow.
Right.
Flowers has a tough matchup against Cleveland. Dallas tough matchup against the Steelers. So
yeah, so Sean gave us an update in the chat that it's full PPR, which
I might go Flowers.
I would go Flowers. Yeah,
yeah.
Go
Flowers. Go up Pittman, Flowers, and Kamara here, Sean.
Do it.
I think that's where I'm going to go. Brian Robinson or Najee Harris today for Todd.
We're in on Najee. We're in on Najee this week. We're using him in DFS. Najee versus the Texans. We're doing that. And Brian Robinson got the Eagles, man. That's one of the toughest run Ds in the league. So got to do it.
Yep, I agree with you. Bender's trying to talk to me into Najee Harris in cash games. It's like, I'm not ready to go there yet. But Adam, start one. Hopkins, Tutu, or Palmer today in the PPR.
Hopkins, Tutu Atwell, or Josh Palmer. I'm going to start DeAndre Hopkins. That crew. I think that, even if he's a little nicked up, what are they going to do? You can only throw to Chig and Nick Westbrook-Akine so many times.
It's true. I don't think I'm going there, though. I think I'm going to go with Josh Palmer today.
I think Hopkins clearly is not healthy, right? Like he's not playing a full
and I think that passing offense is just absolute garbage. So Tutu is a big play guy. I think Palmer is my PPR play today.
I'm still going Hopkins, Adam. So I might have to get a third person to weigh in.
Amari Cooper with DTR or Hopkins today. This is where I may go Hopkins.
Yeah, it's close enough. If Deshaun Watson were playing, it would obviously be Amari Cooper, but for me, it's Hopkins. No Treylon. There's a lot of narratives that point towards it being the play.
I do have Westbrook-Akine in a DFS lineup because he's like $3,200. So might as well punt it.
Scampers,
man, good morning. Sorry, Scampers, missing you there. Trade Gibbs for sack of potatoes. All right, here's my take on Jameer. All right, as someone that was very much of a Jameer Gibbs truther, do you know that he's still been a very productive player in PPR despite playing like 30% of snaps? He's averaging over 10 fantasy points per game in PPR. So if, God forbid, the man ever does get more of a snap share, I think he has some explosive potential here. I'm not ready to give up Gibbs yet. So but he's not an RB1 or RB2 anymore. He's a flex play. So
right.
That's the problem that you have with Gibbs, but you're not trading him yet.
Even if we were down on him, like coming into the season, I didn't really like him at ADP, but if you have him right now, the worst thing you could do is sell low right now. He's going to have better games.
He's going to have better games. And like I said, he's still giving you like 10 fantasy points a game in PPR leagues. So he's not killing you. He's just not what we thought he would be yet. And that's the coach's fault. You took a guy above ADP, then you don't use him. And two in PPR, Brees, Hollywood, and Cooper.
Ooh, whoa.
I think I got to go the last two, but like Hollywood's banged up. Cooper's in a bad spot. I'm not going to run Brees Hall against the Chiefs. I don't know.
Can't do it. Yeah, you got to start the wide receivers.
Yeah.
Get them in there, Ian.
Full PPR, Evans, Pierce, or Thomas?
I like Michael Thomas. I'm just going to keep starting him. And I'm going to start him with Michael Thomas everywhere I have him until he has a game where he doesn't get 8 targets.
4.5 receptions is the problem. Michael Thomas today hammered the over in my underdog.
That's what I'm saying, dude. 8, 9, 9. Those are the targets last couple of weeks. And the thing with Rashid Shaheed is, he's fun. He's exciting. He runs back punts. He runs back kicks. But Michael Thomas is playing the full snap share, and he's getting the looks every week. So until that stops, keep it rolling.
I agree. Mac Jones or DTR today?
Gotta start Mac Jones. Gotta go Mac Jones.
I agree.
He's not like, the thing with Mac Jones is he's not exciting, but he's not bad. He's not terrible, right? No. Like there's some of these. There's a real possibility with guys like DTR or Aiden O'Connell, anyone that watched Malik Willis try to play a game, or Josh Rosen. Sometimes when you go in our minds, it's like, oh yeah, it could be like Anthony Richardson. Sometimes it doesn't even look like real football, right? Like the NFL professional football is very difficult to play. So there's a chance that these guys come out and they are just terrible. I mean, Desmond Ridder today is just trying to give the ball away, right? And he's played a bunch of games in this league.
Yep, I agree. We got some official inactives, and I know we'll have our actives. I know we'll have the inactives briefly, but Field Yates retweeted by Adam Schefter, Derek Carr, David Njoku, Justice Hill, and Miles Sanders among those active for today. Did you see how David Njoku entered the stadium today, Coop?
No, dude. I did hear he burned his face and hands.
He burned his face and hands in a fire pit. He arrived to the stadium today in what looked like a full leather mask with no shirt and a fur coat. He literally looked like a bad villain from Batman.
Did he look like Bane? Right? Yeah. Like,
sort of, yeah, but it was like a full tan mask over his face.
Holy hell.
Do you see it?
Yeah. Oh my.
I mean, full creepy mask.
That thing's horrifying. Why is he wearing that, dude?
I don't know, but he burned his face supposedly.
That was the mask he picked?
Yeah, that was the mask he picked. He literally looks like a horror Batman villain. So
did he go to the Halloween store to get that?
I don't know, but I respect it. I respect the look.
Heather, let's see if we can get a picture of that to put up on the screen here for the gang, or maybe the video. I want to show people this.
Njoku here.
What a beast, dude! If I'll tell you this, if I was ripped like David Njoku, maybe not the mask, but that's pretty much the outfit I'd wear every day. Like I would just be like every day. No,
just why not?
The shirts would be minimal. The shirts would be minimal.
I would agree with you. Eli Apple is scratched. What is Eli Apple? What team is he on these days? I don't even remember where he's at. Let's see. Eli Apple's cornerback for the Dolphins. So Dolphins, no.
There you go.
All right. So down 2. Geez. So I mean, again, Gabe Davis is a 1%er in DFS. Like I'm gonna have some.
Gotta get him in there.
Gonna have.
I'm not even a Gabe Davis guy, and I have Gabe Davis in lineups.
I agree. All right, we got the picture here. Let's bring it up here, Heather, so everybody can see what our David Njoku image looks like, and then we'll go to. I mean,
that
is frightening.
Now I'm gonna admit, dude, that's badass, bro. That's badass.
He should. If he goes out and has a monster game today, you gotta put that on a t-shirt. Gotta go make that like your whole scene now here.
Just go full Rip Hamilton and just wear that all the time, right?
Slowbro, Herbert, A-Chain, or Stevenson, pick 2. I'm still playing Stevenson.
Still playing Stevenson.
Probably again, Bender likes the Bears running backs today. I don't want to.
If it's gonna be a split, like Herbert's splitting with Roshan and A-Chan splitting with Mostert, give me A-Chan. He's just more explosive right now, more fun.
I agree. Let's see here. Adam, does Jimmy G hurt Davante Adams enough to start DK Metcalf over him? So Adams or Metcalf with and a half PPR with Aiden O'Connell starting.
Your team must be a wagon if you have DK Metcalf on the bench.
And you have to sit one. I'm still playing Davante Adams. I'm still
playing Davante Adams. What other wide receiver do you have though? Because DK versus the Giants, like these guys are both top 10, top 15 plays this week. Who are your other guys, Adam? I'd love to know.
Yeah, listen. Aiden O'Connell is not going to not throw to Davante Adams. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah. They said the same thing with Jimmy G. They were like, "Oh, Jimmy G can't throw it deep." It's like, have you ever seen the reception perception for Matt Harmon for Davante Adams? Every route is green. There's not a route on the route tree that Davante Adams can't run.
Listen, I was down on Davante Adams too for a while, and then you just got to me like, but Vegas has him for 1,300 yards.
1,300, dude.
They do. So even if they're wrong, what's that look like? 1,200 yards, right? Like they're usually not way off.
They're not. Yeah, exactly. It's like they know the deal. Like if the only thing Aiden O'Connell can throw is screens, then Davante Adams is just going to run screens all day. Like it's like whatever he can throw, that's what their best player is going to be.
And if they get in the red zone, Adams will come down with it.
No question.
Flex, Kamara, White, A-Chain, Dell, or Downs. I'm still going Kamara
here.
Yep. Let's see.
Love that bench though.
Yeah, good drafting, right? Yeah. Good drafting. I got A-Chain on my bench last week. I got him now in a lineup in a few. Love Tank, Dell. Downs is interesting because he's been getting a lot of targets here.
I like having Downs.
You had Sam Wagman on your show Friday, right? He's a big Downs guy.
Big Downs guy. I like having Downs on the bench, and use them where you got to. And hopefully, what happens is right now, Downs is the guy that's coming out for 2 wide receiver sets, as often happens with rookies. But if he just keeps popping, then Alec Pierce is going to be the guy that starts coming out. So just keep that in mind.
Yeah, 100% here. And done. Superflex. O'Connell or Pierce today?
I had to start the quarterback, honestly. Pierce is half of a running back.
He did score a touchdown last week, though. So, finally found the end zone.
I know. Going against the Steelers defense.
Yep. No, I hear you. I'm still going to go O'Connell here. We got a Twitch coming in. I got to get
finally. There's a Twitch gang, dude. Where you been? Where you been at, Twitch gang? Is everybody watching football right now? What the heck?
Yeah. Stevenson, Madison, Mostert, pick 2.
I'm starting Madison and I think I'm actually John, what do you think? Is it? I think you got to start Mostert.
I'm gonna go Madison and Mostert here.
Madison and Mostert, yeah. Because dude, the narrative has me scared. The narrative has me a little bit scared that Zeke Elliott is going to be getting at least half the snaps today.
Listen, if Zeke Elliott is 100% healthy and the guy that maybe he was a couple years ago, he's better than Ramondre Stevenson. So
I think if they, and the thing is, if they were playing against the Texans, then you start them both. But if they're going to split snaps against the Cowboys, that doesn't sound good.
No, I would agree with you. Andrew Jeffrey here, single entry for DraftKings, Sanders, Madison, or Javonte. Chalk plays here today. Has Javonte Williams as your third highest projected roster running back on the slate. So for single entry, he's going to be pretty.
He's fairly inexpensive.
Yeah, but Madison is right there with him, only a couple percentages points behind. So I'm going to go Javonte this week. Javonte over Madison for me.
Now I know. Yeah, plus Madison is how much is Madison? It's like $6,000 or so, right?
Yeah, 5,800. A couple $100 on
yeah. Javonte. What do you think about in that price range? So Javonte Williams is 5,500, and I think that's the same price as Najee Harris, the Howard Bender's play of the day. What do you think? Would you go Javonte or Najee?
Yeah, probably still Javonte, but I do like Najee Harris. Him and I talked about that on the DFS show. If there was ever a spot for Najee Harris, it has to be this week because teams just don't throw against Houston. And for a while there, and maybe we should have been listening to Colby Conway a little bit more. He has said that Houston has a good pass defense now for a couple of years, and that's the reason teams run on them. It's not that teams are running on them because they have such a bad run defense. It's that they actually have a pretty decent secondary there. And that's just been the case. Teams just run on Houston. So
I've become since working for Fantasy Alarm, I've become pretty good at filtering out what is just homer talk from Colby Conway versus what are actual takes from Colby Conway when it comes to the Texans. Yeah. And I believe him when he talks about the cornerbacks. Yeah, sometimes Colby's just throwing stuff out there, and I'm like, okay, Colby.
But yeah, he believes in the cornerbacks, and teams seemingly do too because they do not throw against them; they just run the football. So if Najee Harris can't get anything done with 15 to 20 carries today, then maybe Jaylen Warren is going to take over that job. But until then, we go. Adam wants to know, here are his top 4 wide receivers: Tyreek, Devontae, Lamb, and DK.
Holy smokes. I might bench CeeDee Lamb.
I tried to talk about Christian Gonzalez here with Britt earlier today and then Bender as well. PFF has ranked Christian Gonzalez as like one of the top cover corners this year. So.
Yes. So the only thing is they can avoid him. So what the Cowboys did against the Jets is that Sauce Gardner and DJ Reed play outside. They don't go in the slot. CeeDee Lamb ran 46 routes from the slot. So that's honestly, CeeDee Lamb should be playing in the slot all day today against the Patriots. That's what they should do. Who knows if they will do it, but that's the way they get out of it. But honestly, who on the Giants is going to cover DK Metcalf?
I mean, probably nobody.
That's what I'm saying. So I think I might just bench Lamb.
Yeah, it's
as
not
crazy as it sounds.
Patriots defense, the fact that Gonzalez has been as good as he is, I'd probably sit CeeDee Lamb here as well today. No homerisms, just the opinions here.
The Giants are still. They started the season starting 2 rookies at cornerback. Are they still doing that? I think they are. I think it's still Deontay Banks and Trey Hawkins. Deontay Banks is a good player.
I'm pulling up some of the DVOA numbers here just to kind of see if our opinions of one match out. So against number 1 wide receivers this year, number 1 wide receivers this year, DVOA.
What do the numbers say, Johnny? What are the numbers? Give me the numbers.
My computer is just painfully slow at the moment.
Well, the thing is, here's the thing. The week 1, I can tell you the narratives. Week 1 was a complete washout game.
Yeah. They're 13th in DVOA against the Patriots. So.
Oh, the Patriots. Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about the Giants.
The Giants are
because week 1.
30th.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, just get them in there because week 1 washout against the Cowboys. Week 2, they barely beat the Cardinals, and then week 3 they got trounced by the 49ers. Yeah. So the Giants kind of are who we thought they would be. They're just not that good.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I think DK over CeeDee Lamb is the way we're going to go today for sure. But we did that one. Are we fading Adams now? I'm not fading Devontae Adams. Who's we? Do we fade? No, who's we?
I can fade him. I can fade him from wide. I had him like wide receiver 3 this week. I faded him down to wide receiver 8. I mean, he's still going to start in every single league unless you're some crazy wagon dynasty team that you're never going to lose anyway, so it doesn't even matter. So you just start Devontae Adams wherever you have him.
Yeah, play Devontae.
Now, we got the inactives in except for the Rams and Broncos. Do we want to pull it up now and start looking at it, John, just real quick to get everybody on the page here?
Yeah, we got a couple. We still got some questions in chat. Do you want to say that for the end here?
Okay, yeah, we'll do it at the end.
We'll run through these questions. So, Rondale or Warren in a PPR?
Jaylen Warren. Like, we like Najee Harris. If Najee Harris has a really good game, then Jaylen Warren's probably going to have a pretty good game.
Yeah, Warren's still going to play. So that's fine. Luke wants to know, Musgrave smacked me on Thursday. Yeah, that concussion hurt.
Yeah.
Pat London, unfortunately, he had the touchdown. So he's got Waller, Marquise Brown, Osborne, Mims, or Chark. No Jonathan Mingo today. Chark had 11 targets last week, but again, that was with Andy Dalton. But no Mingo. Should put Chark back in the hairs here for good target share.
Yeah, 2 flexes. So I'm going to go with Chark, and I'm going to go with Darren Waller.
Okay, yeah, that's where I'm at too. I can't trust Mims yet. No snap share. Osborne's in a tougher spot if you don't like Minnesota.
Don't drop Mims though. Don't drop Mims.
Definitely don't drop Mims. He's going to eventually play. He's too explosive.
Too good.
Minnie Jordan, choose 3. Mixon, Kyron, A-Chain, Cook, or Kamara.
Kamara, definitely.
Yep.
James Cook, because John is pounding the table. And then Kyron, yeah. Yep. Mixon, hey, you have the luxury to not start mixing it against the best run D in the league. There you go.
Yeah, there you go. And then A-Chain, if he goes off again, play him next week. But go Kamara, Cook, and Kyron for me here.
Yeah. Good running backs.
Keep Moss and Dell and Flex, or go Breece Hall and Zay Flowers. I would play Moss and Flowers.
Moss and Flowers, yeah. Flowers, he's just getting peppered with targets. No Odell, no Rashad Bateman. It's like Nelson Aguilar and Devin Duvernay. Like you can't not throw it as a Flowers.
What are your thoughts on Mark Andrews this week? Because he has a 4.5 reception prop as well.
Yeah, so he in any other, like if they just had a different matchup, he would be my like tight end 2 behind Kelsey. But because these Browns have been brutal, man. They've been brutal. Their defense is so good that it's kind of tough to move them that far up. But 4.5, I'll definitely take the over on 4.5 receptions. It's just, and I'm also, you're starting him wherever you have him in redraft anyway. I'm not using him in DFS. That's where I live on that.
Okay. I was just wondering what the props.
Yeah. The problem is that like Myles Garrett has been so disruptive that teams playing this team are taking tight ends that don't usually block on pass plays and asking them to stay in, and not just chip, but straight up stay in. Okay. So be like they asked Chig Okonkwo to stay in. This guy is like, he's like only 240, 6'3", 240. He's built more like Evan Ingram, and you had to stay in to try and help block Myles Garrett because Myles Garrett is just a.
Do you think they're going to have Mark Andrews stay in and block today?
I mean, dude, there's a possibility he has to help out, man.
Yeah, like Flowers more than that.
We're going to see a lot of Patrick Ricard, I think, is what we're going to see. Like just playing weird fullback, like H-back right next to the tackle, just hanging out there trying to help, because this guy's the Whomping Willow, dude. Like he is just insane out there.
Luke here, FFPC turning number 2, Palmer, Myers, Wilson, Samuel, or McKinnon. I might go the first 2 here.
Dude, that hurts, man. But yeah, well, no, I'm gonna go Palmer and Garrett Wilson, because if you're gonna start a guy with a garbage quarterback, start Garrett Wilson and just go with the individual effort.
Okay. I mean, Jacoby Myers.
That fair?
Troy Myers has been outplaying Garrett Wilson.
Jacoby Myers is a good player, but
he's been outplaying Garrett Wilson. He's been more fantasy points
with Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yeah, and Garrett Wilson hasn't been producing with the quarterback he has. So he
had that one really cool touchdown.
Yeah, well, we'll see.
He had a couple touchdowns with Zach Wilson.
I don't know. Maybe if you want to trust Coop here, he goes Wilson. I'm still going Myers. And
Myers is boring.
It doesn't have to be boring.
He's a good player.
Who cares? It's PPR.
We just Aiden O'Connell, dude.
Why don't you like Aiden O'Connell? 4th round pick out of Purdue?
Yeah, dude.
I know Zach Wilson can't play quarterback, so that that's just it for me.
The thing is, Purdue, it's the home. The only reason he got drafted is because the home crowd at the combine was clapping him up, dude. I'm on that narrative.
Okay, I thought you were gonna say Purdue doesn't have quarterbacks, and they say Drew Brees has something to say to you.
No, I'd never say that. I would never disrespect the Boilermakers like that. I'm just saying he had home crowd advantage at the combine.
I don't know. Who is this? I was watching a pirate of the game and it sent me to this. So, all
Hey,
right,
what's
cool.
up? Hell yeah.
I hope that someone has just switched their stream to us. That'd be pretty cool.
Nice.
Just
Did we set that up?
take
That'd be
that.
sick. It's fourth quarter, back to Pirates.
Rushman, if you have any questions, let us know here.
Yeah, thanks for popping in, Rushman, dude. Yeah. Whoever if our tech guy set that up, that's dope.
So what, just swapping over pirated versions of the football game to
where you click pirate it, you try and illegally pirate the game and it comes right over to us. That's sick. Yeah. And if we're not doing that, we should definitely start doing that.
Yeah, Dan wants to know Debo over Myers if he's active, possibly limited versus a backup quarterback.
That's where I start Myers, man, because I'm telling you, so you got a guy with that injury. Are you going to give him carries? Are they going to line up on the backfield? Probably not. If they're winning big, which they're supposed to, do you just keep running him out there, or do you let the backups play? Probably. So give me Jacoby Myers.
Yeah, I like Jacoby Myers here. Again, that game has a big game total. If it gets out early, like they may not even opt to put Debo out on the field here. Rex says he loves the playbook that Howard did here.
Yeah, we had to. I mean, this morning is so crazy, dude. So much movement all over the place. We had to update it. So yep. Howard's a man of the people.
Finn wants to know Thielen, Dell, or MT at a flex. This is tough. It's either Thielen or MT, I think.
Those are my babies, dude. I think I'm gonna go with Michael Thomas.
Okay.
Is Carlton Davis playing? We have the official inactives.
Yes. We have two more questions and we'll get to the inactives.
Okay.
Work?
Yeah.
Okay. So you like Thielen or MT? Or is that regarding
MT?
Okay. We got Higgins or Sutton?
Sutton.
Would you start Breece Hall? I would not.
No, not if you can avoid it.
Xavier saying it's 38-16 49ers. Probably. I could see that coming.
That sounds right.
Arizona decides to screw up their draft pick position more. Then, Ann, last question before we get to inactives. Najee, Kamara, or Palmer in the PPR? I'm going Kamara.
Kamara, yeah. You drafted him. You carried the water this far, and you might as well drink it.
Yep, I agree with you. All right, Coop, let's pull up the inactives here.
Yeah. You want me to pull it up?
Sure, because I did not have them.
I got them.
Okay.
I got them. All right, let's go through NFL inactives official on the Fantasy Alarm website. This is one of our best features. I mean, when you go over to our tools, we got this. One of the other ones I love is the Vegas odds. You can go in and it'll tell you not only what the actual odds are up to date, but it shows you the implied point totals for each team. So it kind of does a little trigonometry there and figures out or calculus, I think it would be, to tell you what each team is expected to score, and it's very helpful. So on the Falcons side, this game's already happening, doesn't really matter. Steelers, nothing that really moves the needle. James Daniels being out kind of stinks. On the Texans side, Laramie Tunsil not playing. That's just another knock against Dameon Pierce, though he hasn't been playing. So if you like what you've seen from Dameon Pierce, probably more of that. No real meaningful players on the Rams not playing. Zach Evans doesn't really matter because Kyron Williams gets all the snaps anyway. On the Colts, center Ryan Kelly has been out. Nobody else there really too crazy meaningful. Vikings looking pretty good. Panthers.
Bingo.
No Mango. Yeah, that's a meaningful one. Raheem Blackshear not playing either, so it's Chuba. If anything happens to Miles Sanders, it's just Chuba. Jamel Dean not playing. Carlton Davis was kind of questionable. He's going to play. On the Saints, no Foster Moreau, but he hasn't really been a factor. No A.T. Perry, but again, non-factors there. Commanders, Curtis Hodges has been out pretty much the whole time anyway. Quez Watkins, which that just consolidates the targets really to the three guys.
Yeah.
So it's helpful that the guy that affects is Dallas Goedert, because in the games when Devonta Smith missed, Quez Watkins did have decent targets last year, and same when Dallas Goedert's out, Quez Watkins plays, but that's better for Dallas Goedert.
Yep.
Eli Apple out, Tyler Kroft out. There goes the revenge game tight end. No revenge game tight ends left on.
I know we've been losing some revenge game plays here for Bender's lineup.
I know. Jordan Poyer being out is good news for Durham Smythe, but he still has to deal with Matt Milano, so still not a great situation for Durham Smythe. Irv Smith Jr. is out. That means Tanner Hudson is a DFS play potentially. He's only 2,500, so bare bones price. Just make sure when you're in there, there's two T Hudsons. Tommy Hudson from the Saints and Tanner Hudson from the Bengals. Make sure you're starting Tanner Hudson. Tommy Hudson will score 0 points today. So Tanner Hudson is a dart throw play.
Tanner Hudson might score 0 points today.
Tanner Hudson might score 0 points.
Now you're touting Tanner Hudson, the fourth option of Bengals offense group.
He led. So last week he led in DFS, Johnny, in DFS. For now, don't trip me up, okay? Titans with no Treylon Burks. It's a Chikakonkwo type of day against this Bengals team.
Too, by the way.
No Peter Skoronski.
Just eat up the Rams line last
week. Peter Skoronski, he was their first round pick at left tackle. Ravens, no Bateman, no Odell, no Ronnie Staley. So yikes. Those Ronnie Staley, very important part of that offense. On the Browns, no Deshaun Watson. We already talked about that. And then Broncos game, no Justin Simmons again. Yikes. They said he was going to play. So, and no Josie Jewell either. So, Cole Kmet, that's huge for Cole Kmet if you have him anywhere. I mean, he's a difficult start in general, but Justin Simmons is a very important part of this team. A big reason why they got crushed last week. So, no Justin Simmons. And then Bears, man, I mean, look at this. No Jalen Johnson, no Eddie Jackson. That's why Sutton is every Sutton question I've gotten this week, the answer has been Sutton.
Yeah, that's why I like the Broncos tail up. All right, cool. We got 2 minutes left. Let's rapid fire through. We got a lot of questions popping in now in chat as we close it out here. So let's see here. Will Hayes wants to know Thielen, A-Chain, Pacheco, Palmer, start one. PPR.
Just one? Thielen.
We have Angie, SSB 13, Ferguson or Hudson?
I'm actually going to start Tanner Hudson over Jake Ferguson. Jake Ferguson's going to get absolutely vaporized by Kyle Duggar today.
Tanner Hudson still may not score.
Well, maybe not, but I'm telling you.
Yeah, Kelly
Ferguson's
Myers
a trap play of the week.
Kelly Myers or Thielen? And a PPR.
Thielen.
Yeah. Need two, Walker, Mostert, Godwin, or Ford?
Got to start Walker, even with everything going on there. And I don't know, I might go Godwin, dude, because Godwin, every time Mike Evans faces Marshawn Lattimore, Godwin eats.
We have breaking news, Coop. The Portland Trailblazers are trading Drew Holiday to the Boston Celtics.
Hey, here we go. Let's go. Awesome, baby. Oh, that was a Twitch question, baby.
Twitch question right here. Myers, Ayuk, or Ramondre Stevenson?
Ayuk with Debo banged up, and Tyler Lockett against the Giants secondary, which is all rookies.
Robert Williams and Malcolm Brogdon being sent to.
No, not the Time Lord.
Time Lord is going to Portland.
Yeah, we get Drew Holiday though.
We get Drew Holiday. All right, last question here. What do we feel about Christian Kirk? He's eating right now. Well, yeah, Nose Jones.
Yeah, Nose Jones, man. It's anytime you get Nose Jones, it's a consolidation, and every time Zay Jones is in there, you have to look and see whether it's a team that primarily plays man or primarily plays slot. That affects who's going to be the guy, but that's about it for us, Johnny. I think we got
that is it for us, guys. Good luck in NFL Week 4. Get in the Discord. Find us there. Follow us on Twitter. 7-day free trial ends this week. Go to fantasystime.com/win. Get your 7-day free trial today. Good luck. We'll catch you all later with your lineups and everything. See y'all.